We continue with Peter Attia's Outlive, and this is the ninth part of the interpretation. Have you ever encountered individuals whose energy seems boundless? They effortlessly concentrate on tasks, exuding positivity and creativity. Not only are they physically fit, but they also maintain a youthful appearance with fewer wrinkles. They undoubtedly prioritize sufficient sleep. If there's a remedy in this world that doesn't require exercise or comfort but significantly improves well-being, it's sleep. For most adults, adequate sleep is a luxury. Fatigue, aged appearance, and sagging skin are all signs of insufficient sleep, exposing the strains of our hectic lives. If circumstances allow, granting yourself a bit of respite, prioritize increasing your sleep duration. This is a relatively recent understanding. Why do humans need sleep? What happens during sleep, and what are the dangers of sleep deprivation? Scientists grasped these concepts less than 2 decades ago. Fortunately, we've lived to see these secrets revealed, emphasizing the importance of sleep more than ever before. Let's get straight to the crucial conclusion. You need 7.5 to 8.5 hours of quality sleep every day. Attia mentions several studies indicating this as a non-negotiable, biologically determined duration. If you sleep less than 7 hours on average every night, you are considered sleep-deprived. However, more sleep is not always better. Sleeping more than 11 hours per day indicates that you are definitely oversleeping. This suggests poor sleep quality, potential underlying health issues, and a 50% higher risk of mortality for various reasons compared to the general population. It's essential to note that the duration of sleep matters, but staying up late might not be an issue. People have different chronotypes. Some prefer early to bed, early to rise, while others are night owls. The body's default settings don't demand everyone to sleep precisely from sunset to sunrise. Primitive tribes also needed individuals for night watch duty. Some people genetically predisposed to be night owls. Remember, sleeping in is not a flaw. Advocates are even pushing for delaying high school start times, allowing young night owls to get more sleep. A more critical realization is that sleep is not a burden or mere indulgence. It's a health necessity. All animals sleep. Think about it, on the African savannas in primitive societies, sleeping at night increased the risk of predator attacks. Why then do we insist on sleeping? It's because the benefits of sleep outweigh the dangers of predation. We've discussed the benefits of sleep on the brain extensively. Let's summarize it from Attia's perspective. Sleep occurs in cycles, each lasting about 90 to 110 minutes, with crucial stages being deep sleep and rapid eye movement, REM, sleep. REM sleep usually follows deep sleep, marking the end of a cycle, and this is where dreaming occurs. Your eyes are moving rapidly behind closed lids as you see things in your dreams. Your brain operates at high speed, while your body remains paralyzed. A crucial aspect, preventing you from acting out your dreams. Dreaming is a process of reorganizing information from the day, enabling the brain to form new connections. This is why dreams possess creativity, and can foster new associations. If you learn a new skill during the day, such as driving, playing an instrument, or a sports move, REM sleep is when your brain rapidly rehearses that new skill, solidifying procedural memory into neural networks. Attia emphasizes the role of REM sleep in managing emotions. If you encounter a situation causing intense emotions during the day, REM sleep helps separate the event from the emotional response, soothing psychological trauma and gradually alleviating suffering. A vital aspect for health. REM sleep handles information processing, while deep sleep is about information storage. The hippocampus, akin to a computer's RAM, stores short-term memories. During deep sleep, the brain selects vital information from the hippocampus, converting it into long-term storage in the cerebral cortex, akin to writing data from RAM to a hard drive. Another function of deep sleep is allowing cerebrospinal fluid to flow between neurons, clearing cellular waste. Notably, substances cleared include amyloid beta and tau proteins strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. This indicates a significant relationship between sleep quality and Alzheimer's disease. People aged 40 to 60, a crucial window for preventing Alzheimer's, experience a notable decline in sleep quality. If Alzheimer's disease has initiated, it becomes even more challenging to enter deep sleep and REM sleep. A vicious cycle. The better your health, the smaller the decline in sleep quality. Better sleep quality associates with a lower risk of Alzheimer's. Studies even suggest successfully treating sleep disorders can delay the onset of mild cognitive impairment by 11 years, and improve cognitive function in diagnosed Alzheimer's patients. The brain requires sleep. Understanding this is one thing, but sometimes, conditions prevent timely sleep. Acute sleep deprivation induces a state akin to intoxication. You might inadvertently fall asleep while reading, watching TV, or using your phone. Errors at work become more likely. Maximum oxygen consumption, strength, and endurance decrease, making you prone to injuries during physical activities. That's why individuals emphasizing being in the zone, like athletes, need ample sleep. A study with the Stanford University basketball team found that after insisting on 10 hours of sleep per night for 5 weeks, shooting accuracy improved by 9%, and sprint times became faster. If you have to sacrifice sleep for work, perhaps due to a pile of unavoidable tasks, or if your work is purely time-consuming, not requiring peak performance, focusing on quantity over quality, sleep deprivation is not a commendable situation. Chronic sleep deprivation, long-term insufficient sleep, is a direct health killer. Your immune system weakens, making you more susceptible to common colds, and hormonal balance gets disrupted. Importantly, you become more prone to metabolic dysfunction and cardiovascular diseases. Attia had patients wear continuous glucose monitors, revealing that a sleep-deprived life significantly raises blood sugar levels. Seemingly counterintuitive, as less sleep may imply more activity, the opposite occurs. Sleep deprivation leads to severe insulin resistance, damaging metabolism. An extreme case is the U.S. Navy SEALs, undergoing extreme training scenarios, sometimes requiring over 24 hours without sleep. Medical examinations revealed that intense training not only failed to make SEALs healthier than average individuals but, in fact, made them significantly less healthy. Aging their hormonal levels, and inflammation indicators decades beyond their actual age. If your diligence reaches a point where it affects your sleep, it's not healthy diligence. Attia analyzes that the mechanism through which sleep deprivation affects metabolism is stress. Poor sleep leads to unrelieved emotional stress, contributing to increased psychological pressure. High stress keeps your sympathetic nervous system in a prolonged fight-or-flight state, perceiving threats everywhere, and causing difficulty in relaxation. This state elevates cortisol levels, especially cortisol, and adrenaline, raising blood pressure and heart rate. Chronic exposure is evidently detrimental to cardiovascular health. Stress also prompts the liver to release more glucose while inhibiting the absorption of glucose by muscles and fat, as the body prepares for fight or flight, both requiring energy. With all this surplus energy, and no actual combat or escape, glucose becomes a burden in the bloodstream, leading to insulin resistance. Another mechanism directly related to appetite is affected by stress. If you only sleep 4 to 5 hours each night, a hormone called leptin, responsible for signaling fullness, is suppressed, while another hormone called ghrelin, making you feel hungry, increases. This makes you more inclined to eat, not out of necessity but desire, turning you into an irrational eater. This contradicts the traditional belief derived from the era of scarcity: a relaxed mind, a plump body. Nowadays, especially in individuals working diligently, lacking sleep doesn't result in weight loss, but more likely in weight gain. That's not exercising. That's harming the body. Some people lack time to sleep, while others struggle with insomnia. Between 30% to 50% of elderly individuals suffer from insomnia. Unfortunately, various sleep aids on the market don't genuinely rescue you from insomnia. Attia explains that the role of sleep aids is not to facilitate genuine sleep, but rather to induce a state of unconsciousness. True sleep has cycles with deep sleep and REM sleep. Unconsciousness lacks these stages. If you have severe insomnia, consulting a doctor is the only solution. However, for general cases of insomnia, the best approach is to create an environment and habits conducive to sleep. One key factor is maintaining a very dark room whenever you want to sleep, regardless of day or night. Only darkness prompts the pineal gland, directly connected to vision, to release melatonin, a hormone signaling it's time to sleep. This means avoiding the use of devices with screens, like phones or tablets, in the 1 or 2 hours before bedtime, as electronic screens emit blue light, which hinders melatonin. Another factor is keeping the sleep environment slightly cool. Contrary to common belief, one of the signals for falling asleep is a drop in body temperature by approximately 1 degree Celsius. To achieve this, the optimal temperature for a bedroom is around 18.3 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. This also suggests that taking a warm bath before sleep can be helpful, because it lowers body temperature. Engaging in physical activity during the day, especially moderate-intensity aerobic exercise, is beneficial for sleep. Again, the guideline of about 30 minutes of brisk walking, or jogging per day, is usually sufficient. But for the sake of sleep, it's better to perform this exercise in sunlight, avoiding exercise in the 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. A good strategy for dealing with insomnia is to accumulate sleepiness. Doctors advise against napping during the day even if you're a bit tired when you shouldn't be sleeping, waiting to sleep all at once at night. Many people believe that alcohol is conducive to sleep, but that's a misconception. While alcohol may help you fall asleep, it also makes you more likely to wake up. After initially sleeping, as alcohol metabolizes in the latter part of the night, you may have restless sleep, struggling to enter REM sleep, oscillating between wakefulness and light sleep. Drinking coffee is even more inadvisable. The key here is that everyone has different tolerance and metabolism rates for caffeine. Some people need 6 hours to metabolize a cup of coffee, implying that you shouldn't drink coffee in the afternoon. Additionally, avoiding stress is crucial, especially before bedtime. Don't engage in anxiety-inducing activities before sleep. Whatever needs attention can wait until tomorrow. In conclusion, longevity is not easy, not for everyone, and it requires enjoying luxury in certain aspects. Sleeping while others are busy is the true luxury. This concludes this segment. In the next part, we'll discuss mental health.
If you feel there is value in this, please like, subscribe to this channel, and leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments section. Let's grow together and read more good books.